Charge would be a sick pull. What wouldn't be a sick pull is that stupid Orient Dragon. That wouldn't be sick. I'm not even gonna react this time. I'm just not gonna react. I'm not gonna react this time. Go away. So it is day 1 of the latest box, and finally Konami have pushed me to a point where I actually have to play Pendulums. Up until now I've only really uploaded one actual Pendulum deck. I've played Pendulum cards here and there, but other than that, I've basically avoided the mechanic harder than I've avoided my life responsibilities. But basically, to put it simply, I don't really like Pendulum at all. In a 4-card starting hand, it just feels like I'm playing Russian roulette, only replace the bullet with a brick, and add 5 more of them. But because I have nothing else to upload, I decided to whip out this brand new dinosaur archetype. That are not actually dinosaurs.
With all due respect, what the fuck?
So I've got mixed feelings from this deck so far, as honestly, it's not that bad. I played 13 games with the deck, and I won 9 of them, which is roughly a 70% win rate. Or 69 for you culture guys out there. Which isn't bad for a day 1 list, considering there are quite a few variations of the deck to explore, and of the 4 losses I got, 2 of them were purely to a Sphere Karibo, interrupting my brain dead smack head on keyboard OTK, and another one was literally to a mirror match, when my opponent just won the coin toss, and got to brain dead smack head on keyboard OTK me first. But honestly, despite being a fairly decent deck, I definitely don't think this archetype is going to be for everyone, and it's pretty prone to bricks, being a Pendulum deck. It doesn't really have a turn 1 unless you stuff in a Diva or Crystrons or something, and it's fairly ooga booga one-dimensional playstyle, since your main focus of the deck is an uninteractable OTK combo. But if you don't mind all that, here's the deck list. Now before I get into the deck list, just a reminder that if you are enjoying any of the content you are watching or find any of it useful, to please show your support in the video and for the creator by dropping a like on the video down below and subscribing to the channel whilst you're down there. I make a ton of content every week covering various lists, guides, updates, memes, a lot of memes, and I occasionally run live stream tournaments that anyone can join. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Alright, so there are quite a lot of new cards here, but I'll try to go through them all briefly. So we are running 6 new Dinomist cards. Dinomist Rex, when it attacks, at the end of the damage step can activate one of 2 effects by attributing one other Dinomist monster. First effect, this card can attack an opponent's monster again in a row, and if it attacks a defense position monster, it can inflict piercing damage. And 2, shuffle one card from your opponent's hand or their side of the field into the deck. This card gains 100 attack. Its Pendulum Effect is the same as all the Scale 6 Dynamists. Basically, by destroying itself, you can protect your Dynamist cards from targeting effects. Ceratops, if you control all Dynamist monsters, can special summon itself from hand, and its Pendulum Effect is the same as all rank 3 Dynamist monsters. It's basically the same as the rank 6 effect, only it protects your Dinos from destruction instead. Spinos allows you to tribute one other Dynamist monster to activate one of 2 effects, and keep in mind this is not a once per turn. This card can attack directly, or this card can make a second attack during each battle phase, and with 2500 attack, I'm sure you can see where this card is going. Brachion, if your opponent controls a monster that has the highest attack on the field, you can special summon this card from hand. Stegosaur, if another Pendulum monster you control battles an opponent's monster, after damage calculation you can destroy those monsters. And finally we have Dynamis Charge. When activated you can add one Dynamis monster from deck to hand, and once per turn if a Dynamis card is added from the field to your extra deck, you can add one of those cards to hand. Other than that, the deck is running a pretty stock standard Territory of the Sharks Diva package, which is basically because, like I said, the deck doesn't really have a turn 1 without it. Not a strong one anyway. It also allows you to obviously go into a bunch of Water X Seas monsters with your dinos as well, if you need to. And of course, you can actually summon Quarion with this list as well. Alright guys, that'll be it for the decklist portion of the video. The rest of the video will be gameplay with commentary showcasing the list in action. Remember, if you are enjoying the video or find any of the content useful, to please drop a like on the video down below and consider subscribing to the channel whilst you're down there. Enjoy the gameplay. Alright, let's get into it. So as you can see, elephant in the room first of all, yes, my face cam is on. I don't normally do this, but I happen to have my stream setup left on from earlier, so if you prefer face cam, let me know and I will do more of them. I don't mind, it's just, yeah, I just happen to turn on the webcam. So, if you enjoy it, let me know in the comments, all that kind of stuff. Alright, so as you can see, Decklist went 9 wins out of the 13 games I played. Well, you can only see 6 of the wins, but there was 3 more wins before this, which is a pretty decent showing for a day 1 deck. It's not like too absurd, but it's definitely better than I thought it would do, considering it is a Pendulum deck and it hasn't got any like one card combos or anything absurd like that. So I just thought, like all Pendulum decks, it'd just be a brick fest. So it's nice to see it actually performs pretty well, which gives me a little bit of hope for it, considering there are so many different variations and stuff you can play with the list anyway. So yeah. You might see a Crystron variant from me later this week, maybe, if I might run out of stuff to upload. So look forward to that. Alright. I think another reason I got quite a good win rate today is a lot of people just weren't playing top tier decks or anything, so obviously that just means win rate becomes a lot better, but I'm sure this deck could reach King of Games anyway. Alright, so first person we were playing against was playing some kind of a Lightsworn deck or something. I don't know, it wasn't anything too exciting. I don't think this replay was too exciting either. I just showed it because it was just a good showing of the actual combo. So first thing we did was we used our Charge to search for our Ceratops. Then we placed our 2 scales and Pendulum summoned our OTK boy, Spinos. He special summoned a card from hand. We don't give half a fuck about these 2 monsters on board. So we're going to use our Spinos on board to tribute our monster, sending it to the extra deck to give it its first effect, which is it can attack directly. Then because we destroyed it, or we got sent to the extra deck, we can then use our Dynamis Charge's effect to add it to hand, and then we can use its own special summon effect, then put it on board again, so we can use Spinos' effect again, so we can now attack directly and attack twice. Opponent had Grit, which was a bit annoying, but it didn't matter anymore, because even though he had a Thunder Dragon Duel in hand, it didn't matter. He swings into our boy, we then use our Dynamis card's protection to then add it back to, oh, destroy it, then add it back to hand with the Charge's effect. And he just conceded from here because he knew we just placed the scale again, resummon from the extra deck, and he'd die. Yeah, so if that went a bit too fast or didn't make any sense to you, don't worry, you're gonna be seeing that combo a shit ton more in these replays, so it really doesn't matter. All you really need to get out of that was just Spino, Ooga Booga, hit face, they die. That's basically it. Alright, so this man was on a 5-game win streak. Playing, I think, Invoked Neos or some shit. So summons his Neos Fusion and has a back row. Very scary. But lucky for us, we have a fat Pendulum hand. So we're going to search for Spinos, which is our OTK boy. Place our 2 scales. Simply summon our Spinos. Summon our 2 guys. Similar combo to before, but this time instead of using Ceratops' special summon, we can use our Brachion special summon, because this card has 2600 attack, and because it has the most attack on the field, or on his side of the field, it means we can now special summon Brachion. So we Pendulum summon it first, so we can tribute it for his first effect, Dynamis Charge, add it back to hand, use its own effect, special summon, tribute again, and swing in twice. He tries to negate the effect, but we have an anti-target thing on the anti-target scale, so we distribute that, and, well, we'll destroy that rather. Yeah, very, very standard. Like I said, you'll be seeing that kind of combo a lot. And it's why I think, like I said earlier, and I think during the commentary part, I don't think a lot of people are going to enjoy this deck too much. It kind of plays similar to how, I guess, like a Lunalight player would enjoy, where it's just same combos every game, Ooga Booga, OTK kind of shit. So if that's the kind of stuff you're into, that kind of playstyle, this deck will be right up your alley. It's definitely not a difficult deck to get your head around. Once you know the basic combo, you can just do it on repeat. Alright, so this time we went first. Unfortunately, we didn't draw Diva, so we didn't have our setup for, you know, the Abyss Dweller with the Sea Serpent dude underneath for a pop effect, which is kind of rough. So instead, we're just going to have to set up a fat board, stick up a couple of blockers, and thankfully though, we did get our Dynamis Charge, so if he does destroy one of our blockers, it will just go back to hand. Or if he targets one of them, we can use the anti-target, or the anti-destruction effects of our scales anyway. So we should have at least some cards next turn to play with. Alright, doesn't do a whole lot, but similar replay to the first game. This time we drew our Diva. Diva's gonna summon our Infantry from deck, Territory of the Sharks, make a Abyss Dweller. We can then detach, pop the card on board. Well, first we're gonna Pendulum Summon. He had a Sphere Karibo, but in this case it really doesn't matter. We have so much damage. Not only do we have so much damage, but because we attacked with Rex, we can then tribute off our Spinos, and then get rid of a card in his hand. So even if he had another hand trap in hand, because he already had one Karibo, it wouldn't matter. We can shuffle one, or potentially shuffle one back into the deck. Then beat over him with our Abyss Dweller. Alright. I don't know why there were so many Chaos decks today. So many people were running Sphere Karibo on Chaos decks. I came across a Blue Eyes player as well, who I think was like, turn 1 had double Kiteroid in hand and stuff. I don't know. So many people today were just really hiding behind their hand traps. Which is very annoying for this deck, because I feel like this deck has a pretty good matchup going second into most things, except hand traps. Hand traps, you can't play the game. Alright, so we drew Diva first, so obviously, you've seen this before. Diva, straight into Abyss Dweller, with a Sea Serpent dude underneath it, so we can just detach that, pop whatever he summons. Which will be, of course, his Trimid Hunter. So he can't do another summon, can't do any Sea Summon, can't do anything. Then we have to place our Spinos, place our Brachion, and special summon 2 big boys. He tries to treacherous them. We have 2 lots of anti for this. We have targeting effect and destruction effect protection. And because it negates the effect, it doesn't just protect the Brachion from dying, it protects the Abyss Dweller as well. And we can add back to hand because we destroyed it. Meaning we place it again. So yeah, even if we had more destruction on the next turn or more targeting, we still had protection up for it. Alright, final replay. I think this was like the only like super decent replay we got to, because these replays weren't actually that great today. There just wasn't a lot of meta decks around. All the meta players are sleeping apparently. Because even the replays we lost to, like I said, they were just the Sphere Karibos, so... This was not that many meta players up today. Alright, so this guy was playing Gaia. And he had a pretty solid start too. So this man summoned Gaia and had Book of Moon set. Which is a pretty solid turn 1. Probably one of the better turn 1s you can have. Alright, so Deep Sea Diva. He uses Book of Moon to turn it face down. Now the cool thing about this deck is, because it makes you look like you're a Shark role player, you look exactly like you're playing Water Xyz. Our opponent sees this Infantry on board, and he's like, no. I'm not gonna let you normal summon another monster, because Infantry gives you a second normal summon. He's like, no, we're not gonna let you do that. And he pops it instantly. So, easiest bait of my life, because we're not playing that, we're playing Pendulum. So we set our 2 scales. We Pendulum summon out our Spinos. Spinos swings in, pops his monster, swing in with Rex, then Rex contribute the monster to shuffle 1 card on board or in hand back into the deck. We choose his field spell, put it back in the deck. And since we destroy the monster or send it to the extra deck, we can add it back to hand with Charge, so we didn't even lose any value on that. Alright, Fate's Dragon's Mirror, special summons out another one. Decides to swing into the Diva, buffing his attack. But at this point, it really doesn't matter, because we can just Pendulum summon our boy again, tribute our card, and we can attack directly. And even with activating Gaia, we can obviously destroy Charge, negate the effect, and hit him directly in the face. Alright, so that's going to do it for the replays today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed them. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.